Culturally clueless.
All right, everybody, we are back with a brand new episode of Culturally Clueless. Salam alaikum. And I want to start giving some shout outs. So the first shout out goes most definitely to Dave Chappelle, but also Mark Lamont Hill, who is standing 10 toes down. He was canceled so many times for speaking up for Palestine. And I want to also shout out Melissa Ford. Yes, Melissa Ford of the Joe Budden podcast. She called it what it is, a genocide. And that was really surprising for me that she openly spoke on this on the Joe Budden podcast. So yes, big time shout out to her as well. And now let's get into the episode. Okay, guys, we are back and welcome everyone. So this week is just the two of us. It's very unexpected. Why is it just the two of us?
Yeah, well,
Right.
Maria has got some she was not feeling well, right? So yeah, so it was the last minute thing, not the last minute thing, last 2 hours thing.
Last hour.
Yes, yeah. So we hope she's feeling better. We've tried to to check on her, but I think yeah, she was not able to respond to us now. But inshallah, she will feel better and she will be with us next week. That's all I can say.
And how have you been? We've been like MIA for 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? Yes, 2 weeks. How have you been?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Well, again, I'm still breathing. I am still in one piece. So just for everyone to know, it was school's holiday here, like a term holiday, which is 2 weeks holiday for the kids. And you can imagine, try to keep the kids busy all the time is not easy. And sometimes if I can't really get them busy with anything, I'll get them busy with me, which is like, just busy annoying me or busy arguing with me. They're not annoying, but it's just arguing about everything. So, you can imagine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I'm still in one piece. I made it. Another school holiday, done and dusted. And alhamdulillah, they are back to school now.
Well, congratulations for, surviving another school break, let's say.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud of myself, to be honest.
Right? And Maria is not here, but we still have a question. So, Ray, I have a question for you. This is a very specific question just for you, okay? So,
we'll see about that.
The question is, what so far in 2025 left a big mark? What?
Your internet connection is unstable.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you were cutting off, but yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, so can you tell us what in 2025 so far you remember that left like a big let's say imprint on you?
In 2025, well, okay, the whole I need to think about that one. Okay, you just took me off guard because because so far I think the whole year is full of surprises, in terms of family, okay, which is something that I don't want to discuss, of course, in terms of work.
Of course.
Yeah. In terms of everything, even honestly speaking, even the weather itself, even the climate here, it was just surprising. Like, winter was supposed to start like last month, but I think it just started, if you can say that it's a winter, it started like, I don't know, beginning of July, which is again, like it's like 1 month late. And it wasn't even like a serious winter until today, by the way. Today is very
Oh,
stormy.
wow.
So yeah. To be honest with you, yeah, the year is full of surprises, like I said, Well, come on,
Okay.
come on. What sort of question is that? I think you need to answer first, since you have the question. Then I'm sure that you are prepared
Me?
for it more than me.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely nowhere near prepared.
Oh,
Okay, do you like 2025 or you don't?
yeah. Well, to
Can't
be
make
honest with
up
you,
my mind about
I don't have, look, honestly, I don't have the option to like it or not, you know? And I'm
that.
out, I'm at this point, or let's say I'm under this perception of like, you know, as we progress in the years, you know, the situation in general, our life in general, it's becoming more complicated, right? And you know, to
Mm.
me, I would say, inshallah, this year is going to be a better year. But somewhere inside of me, I feel like, you know, the year, you know, the next year is not really going to be that much better. You will be
No.
surprised with so many things. You would be like, things are changing. You know, you can think about it in many aspects, you know, political, even economical,
Mhm.
even you know, because we are growing older, of course. I'm growing older, for example, and just realize that, you know, I'm there are some physical things that happen to me that would give me an indication that, yeah, you know what, you are not really that, you know, 30s guy who used to be, you know,
I
which
can't
is
believe
true
you just said
story.
that.
Which is true story, you know, like because for example, I used to go to gym, for example, right? And when I went to gym, I was
Mhm.
like, as soon as I walked into the gym, I felt like, yes, I'm back. Right, but like I'm like 10 years late, right? So so I started working out, and that's a very, very small example, right? I started working out and thinking that, yeah, well, I'm back, you know, I can feel the energy, I can feel the vibe. But you know, as soon as I started dealing with this stuff with the equipment of the gym, I started realizing, it was like, what's wrong with me? Ouch. Okay, what's happening? Oh, okay. Ouch. That hurts. So, so that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about, you know, the physical thing. It's like, you know, before I would be like, you know, I'm sure that I could handle more than now. So again, it's just all of this. So I can't really think of a specific thing that made an impact on me. Like I'm going through some current thing at work, for example, that might
Yeah.
really, you know, affect everything
Yeah.
I'm doing outside the work or even during work. So
Mm.
honestly speaking, this work thing, for example, yeah, I can say that yes, it's a significant thing, right?
Mhm.
And it is getting me to, you know, like it's distracting me, or let's say it's putting me away from thinking about other stuff, right? Even the gym
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and the ouch
It's
things that I
very
felt when
time,
I went
it's
to gym.
energy consuming. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, but you know,
Wow.
when we did the episode of you know, the 2024, at the end of 2024, we made the episode, which
Yeah.
is the wrap up of the year,
Yeah.
right? I think here for the 2025, I can go for 3 episodes, not one, or even four.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Okay, okay, okay. That's something to take in consideration. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, I mean, honestly, I don't know. 2025 is weird.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
really too surprising, too much.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
still waiting for a good surprise, by the way.
uh, Still waiting for a good surprise. Well, inshallah, the wait is not going to
Yeah.
be long.
Well, no, inshallah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's really see. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have some topics to get to. So
Oh
we
my God,
have
she's running away. She's running away from answering the question. That was a very brief answer, and
I
look at
did.
it.
No, 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 I did. Honestly, I can't name anything. I'm just like, I don't know. This year is really weird. First of
Hmm.
all, it went by super fast. We're already
Yeah.
like almost in August, which is like, yeah, almost like done. So like two-thirds through, almost.
Yeah.
Like what, 5 weeks?
Mhm.
And then I don't know, it's very unpredictable. I feel like times are becoming more unpredictable. And I'm just very upset that nobody told me getting older sucks.
Well, I just mentioned it now, when I was answering the question.
Exactly. That sounds like okay, but they should have told me when I was 5. I would have forever stayed 5.
I can imagine. No, not really 5, because that had its own challenges, at least for me.
Oh, well, pick
But
7.
I
Pick
would
any
be,
young age.
yeah, okay. I'll think about it.
Where
Fair enough.
somebody else is responsible for you, like not yourself. Where you don't
Yeah,
have to
but that
make big
still comes with,
decisions.
well, yeah, okay. Sometimes, like again, it depends on where did you grow up, and I'm not talking about the house that I grew up in, right? I'm talking about everything around that house, outside that house, right? So still, I still need to have a better thought and think about it even more. What age exactly I can decide that I would get stuck at.
Okay. I would say maybe for you 21.
21 was good. That was yeah, 21 was okay. That
Hey.
was when I started, getting into everything like work, and moved to another country, and moved away from my parents, and that's the year when I started, you know getting to be myself now, right? That's the year that started forming me, basically. Mhm.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad
Mhm.
you took the right turn, with this one. I moved away from my parents, and the next sentence could have been very different. Oh my God. Okay, okay. I think we should really get to our next topic before we say something wrong about our parents, which
Well,
we love
again, I
very
didn't
much,
mention
by
it.
the way.
I didn't mention my parents. I'm just talking about specific things.
We love them a lot. Parents are amazing.
Of
Yeah.
course they are.
Shout,
Absolutely.
shout out to parents.
Hmm.
So our next topic is something that Maria would have loved to talk about, and this is the Gaza paramedics. This is a little bit older, but we haven't been here, so that's why she wanted to talk about it. How there were two people, a father and a son. Do you know what happened when they
Yeah, well,
blindfolded the father and the son was watching everything?
This is pretty shocking, but do you remember the humanitarian workers who were found in a mass grave, buried with their vehicles and their uniforms on with their hands tied? And the IDF then put out a report when they were asked about this, and then a video came out showing that they lied about what happened on their report. There was 2 witnesses to that attack that night, and there was a father and a 12-year-old son in the area, and they were there, and they got captured by the Israeli forces, and the father was bound and blindfolded, but they didn't blindfold the son. They carried out 3 sets of attacks on humanitarian workers while the 12-year-old boy Mohammed al-Bawadil watched and watched and watched, and he described to his father, who was blindfolded, what was happening as the Israeli soldiers executed these people and buried them.
yeah. Well, yes, I saw the news. I read about it, and to me, it was, again, it's just one of so many. This
Yeah,
is this is
exactly.
my yeah this is my problem. And honestly, like you said, like, too bad Maria is not here, because I always get her to talk about it. Um, because sometimes, when I start talking about these things, um, you know I don't really where to start, and how to
Yeah,
keep going, because yeah, there's always a lot to say, right? And when you mentioned the
exactly.
paramedics themselves, like we spoke about, like a couple of I think a couple of months ago, we spoke about another
Yeah,
situation when you know um, the one of the paramedics was also getting shot, and basically they were just filming the whole thing, and he was getting executed, um, and basically
I
asking
think
for
for
his
me,
parents
that's
to,
one of the worst ones.
yeah, yeah. So again, you know, like when we bring up these things, it just brings back so many things along with it, you know, so many things that
Yes.
I've seen and witnessed. So I don't know. Yeah, would you like to talk about this specific?
So yeah, I mean, I can only say that the father and his son, they were there, they watched it all, but the father was blindfolded. So the son was basically describing everything that was happening to his dad. And the son was the only witness. And then he went fishing with his dad recently. And then he was taken out by the Israelis. So that means the only witness, the one and only witness, has been taken out, and it's a kid. The father survived, he could get away. And I don't know, like, what more is there to say than, as you said, there are so many of them, too many.
Yeah, exactly. And there's something, you know, I think I saw yesterday or the day before. You know, those what's his name? Mehdi Hassan. You know, he was doing some kind of debating one-on-one with in USA and with some people from in the US. You know, like when they come and they have like this timer and they would discuss with him about Gaza and
Yeah, it was the
the US
Jubilee thing,
politics.
right? These, yeah, the
Yeah,
20 right-wing, whatever, Republicans versus
yeah,
him, right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. And he was just asking that guy a simple question. That guy, I can't even forget the way he looks because he was even dressed up in a weird way, right?
Oh my God, they all were weird. One of them was as big a psychopath, and the next one.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I mean, yeah, the outfit itself was crazy. You know, like I think he was coming to he wasn't really coming to a serious show. It felt like he's coming to a comedy show. Anyway, so yeah, the question that it was a simple question that was asked, you know, like when he was asking him about, you know, murdering kids, is that acceptable for you? And that guy kept running around in the answer, and he's like, oh, they have to look into the education and how they are educating their kids to be extremists, like murdering kids, a sniper shooting the child in the head. What is that? Because sorry, that guy started first, you know, talking about, um, you know, that because it's Hamas, it's Hamas's fault. They are, you know, taking them as human shields. They are in the hospitals and you know tunnels under the hospitals. And Mahdi was like,
Mm-hmm.
a child getting shot in the head by a sniper, right? Is that right or wrong? And that guy kept just slipping away from the question, okay, and just going towards, you know, the education or human shields and stuff like that, you know. And that's the problem here, that when we have some people like this, you know, now we know the IDF is, you know, it's a bunch of criminals, right? But
Yeah.
you know, when we look at people who are supposed to be civilians and supposed to have, you know, they are they, they've got families and they've got children and they've got neighbors and friends who have children, and they have the nerve to say that, you know, well, it is acceptable to get a child, you know, just shot in the head. So
Yeah.
when we see something like this, and we look at the story that we heard today about, you know, the father and the son when they went fishing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then it seems like, yeah, it shows us that these people have got no limits. These people are just cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I feel like, you know, we talk about the news of this father and son today, and we heard so many other news, and it still feels like, you know, the world is just watching,
Yes,
and
that
they are
is
not
very
doing,
true.
yeah, they're not, no one is willing to do anything. And I still need to understand what do these people and these lies, what do they mean to the rest of the world, right? what do they mean? Are they actually like, do they look at them and think that, oh, these guys, this is just some sort of a movie? And those are, the IDF themselves and the Palestinians themselves, they are just actors. And, at the end of the day, none of this, what we are seeing here is real, it's just special effects, and everyone is just going back home after they finished, shooting, recording at the set. I don't understand. I really don't understand. How is that seen? How is that seen, or how is
I
that
don't
not
think
seen even?
I don't think that
Sorry, yeah.
that anyone cares, because at the end of the day, to me, it become a whole big game, but more for the leadership of this world, and everybody else doesn't really matter, because we have there's more and more reports coming out how ITF soldiers are taking their own lives, and granted, I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry. You go somewhere, you commit all these atrocities, and then you come back, and when you're like down from all your adrenaline and everything, then you realize what happened, and you cannot live with it, and PTSD is a serious thing. But anyways, that is for them to deal with. I just don't understand. Like, I am generally not was always against military. I mean, I understand we need it because apparently nobody's to be trusted, but military destroys people. I've seen this way too many times.
Yeah, the thing about military is, sorry, military, this is how I see it at least, right? It is needed, that's for sure. But it is needed for defense. It is needed for the support of the livelihood of the people of the country. Okay, it is not needed to attack. This is the difference here. It is not needed to attack other countries. It's not even needed to invade. It's not, this is the problem here, right? For me, I need to be, if I would look at it by myself, like just me, myself, right? I need to be healthy. I need to be strong. I need to be, I don't know, I need to maybe, it's not allowed to have a weapon, for example, in Australia, unless you go through so many processes. But if someone has a weapon, and again, this is just an example, if someone has a weapon at home, it is not to go and threat or terrorize or rob someone else. It is there to defend your place if you need it. You're strong enough, you can defend yourself and you can defend your family if needed. That's if you are forced to, right? This applies on us as people, and it should apply on also as a whole country. It should apply the same, right? I've got the equipment. I've got strong. I am strong, and I'm prepared, but not prepared to hurt others. I'm actually here to defend my people, my country, my land.
Yeah.
But still,
100%.
what we see here is, countries like, for example, the US and well, of course, Israel. It's not a country, but you see that, they create the wars. They create a reason for the war so they can go for the wars, right? And they can go and actually invade, like Afghanistan, Iraq, all of this, and Vietnam before. It's like, just finding a reason to attack, and they would justify it as, we are defending ourselves.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Israel is a different level because this is non-existent thing, and those people came and occupied the place, and all of a sudden now they are defending themselves against the people who were living there already, which is another story.
Yes, and this is actually a good segue to our next topic. I want to talk about schizophrenia. To me, it seems like all of these politicians are suffering from schizophrenia these days.
New research has been done out of Stanford that has found that schizophrenia is shaped by your local culture. Stanford professor and first author Tanya Luhrmann said in an interview that people with schizophrenia in Africa and India predominantly experienced positive and benign voices, while not a single person in America experienced it that way. They found that Americans were experiencing violent, intrusive, bombarding voices that they could not recognize, and saw them as a symptom of brain disease due to genes or trauma.
So what's your comment before we get into the topic?
Now, you said, all the politicians are they've got
Yeah.
schizophrenia, right? But for me, I
Yes.
think I feel like it is not that they have got it all. They have got them all. Like, I think it's part of the selection criteria. It's on their resume, right? It's in the job ad. Let's put it this way, right? Like, just let's talk about it professionally. It's in the job ad, like we need a politician or something, and this and this and this. This is the job, the role and job description, and then there would be the skills and qualifications, right? And one of it would be like to be schizophrenic. Like you have to bring some kind of a certification because we're gonna need it. It's gonna be part of your job.
I mean, this is very interesting, right? Because they made the Stanford University made a very interesting study, and it was like a collaboration between India and the US. And they said that there is a subtle difference between schizophrenic people in the US and in India. So in the US, they said the voices that they are hearing are way more negative and violent, while in India, the people that they tested, their voices had more like an influence, a positive influence, like there were more positive voices. And they say that culture plays a big role, like your environment, your culture plays a big role in this, because apparently, there is a difference, obviously a big different culture between the US and India, for example.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I can imagine, right? I tend to agree, absolutely. Yeah, because when this is the starting point, which is the culture, right? The starting point, the culture means, if we look at the starting from maybe the society itself, and the smallest the smallest what do you call it, the core of the society, which is the family. Okay, now the family relationships are different. We're talking about in the US and the West in general, right? There's the certain age, which is 18, like the kids or the sons or daughters, they are more independent. They tend to live by their own. Let's say the family bonds, are not as strong and connected as they are in the
Yes.
East. Okay, so this is where it starts.
100%.
So I totally agree. It's a based on the social, the lifestyle, the social thing itself, right? And add to that, what the how to say it, the lifestyle, the what is, there's a difference in lifestyle between the people in the US and the people in India, that's for sure, right? Okay, we're talking about India, highly populated. We're talking about, of course, we know there's some kind of a the poverty factor. It's just completely different. So and we brought up the example of the military and the militants who ended their service, and the PTSD, which is another thing, another topic, not another topic, but like it's just another a different part of the whole story. But what I'm trying to say here is that, okay, there's those on the social media. There's those funny. Sometimes they are funny and sometimes they are sad. There are videos about, for example, the street food in different countries. Okay, the street food, and of course, so many videos. I think they're around there about the Indian street food. Okay, and I'm not really trying. Honestly, I'm due respect to everyone, but those videos are more viral. Okay, because let's say the quality, not the quality. In fact, it is actually the measures that these vendors are following in order to deliver that food to the people. Okay, and so many people, you can see the comments. So many people from different countries would say, I wouldn't really think about going there to that vendor and eat from that, the food that he's making. Okay. Well, in the video itself, you can see 20 or 30 people are waiting, lining up and just waiting for their turn. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is that the simplicity of the life is different. Like
Yeah.
the life in the US
Yeah.
is so complex. In India,
Yeah.
it is different, right? And again, I'm not really defending or not attacking any kind of hygienic
no.
measures or anything, but I'm just giving I'm showing the difference here. Okay, so it's yes, we were talking about economical factor, we are talking about social factor, we are talking about the simplicity and the complexity of the life itself, right? So these are all factors. So I wouldn't really be surprised with the results of this study. I don't know. Maybe I spoke too much now. What do you think?
No. I just think it was very interesting. That's why when I saw it, I thought it would be interesting because I feel like it just shows, like the subtle difference between the West and the global South, how they like to call it. And to me, in the US, to me, there is something like genetics and everything and generational trauma and generational, stuff that you inherit in your DNA from, your prior generations, whether it's your parents or the ancestors or anyone. And to me, I don't really, it didn't surprise me whatsoever because what is it that the US has, to say for itself, except that it committed so many atrocities for hundreds of years, slavery, taking the land off the natives and so much more. And I mean, yeah, it's all negative, and people in the global South, and I'm in Morocco and I see this every day. There's so much poverty, there's so much here, and people are just happy. They find a way to be happy,
Yes.
happier than
Yeah.
we are.
Yep, absolutely. Remember there was this story. I don't know if we have the time for it, but like it's a quick story about like a guy who's got like a master's degree in finance or business administration, or like he's got or a PhD or something, and he was passing by he was just walking next to the beach or to the sea, and he saw a fisherman, and he just stopped by him and he started talking to him about like how many fish do you catch a day, blah blah, and how do you support yourself. And then he told him like in 1 year you can if you catch enough fish, and you can get yourself a shop and you start selling there, you'll make more money, and then you will have like a chain of outlets, and then maybe you can you can make your own restaurant, and you can make millions. It will be a chain of restaurants. And the guy was like kept asking him, and then what, and then what, and then what, just asking him every. And that finance expert was telling him that you would be able to retire at maybe the age of 60, and then you would be able to enjoy a quiet life with your children and your grandchildren. And but all you need to do is just to work a little bit harder to build this. And the guy was like, okay, so what is this fisherman was like, what is the difference here? I catch enough fish, I take it home, we eat it, I spend the rest of the evening and the rest of the night with my family and my kids. I have grandkids as well, and I'm actually enjoying my life now at this age. I'm enjoying my life with them, with the small amount of fish that I catch, just to keep me going. So what is the difference? Okay, it's just simplicity. Like he's living a simple life. He doesn't need a mansion. He doesn't really need anything. He needs his boat, and he can just catch fish. And live out of that. Why does it have to be that complicated? So that's an answer for what you said. The simplicity. People are, they're not rich, but they're still happy.
Yeah, exactly. People are still happy, and they find a way. They find a way to make it work for them. And it's also another thing that baffles me. I don't understand. Like, to me, this is something I don't understand, because I guess I grew up in the West. You have people, right? And they don't have a job and they're in need of money, but they still don't feel the need to get up early. They still don't feel the need to be on time for their job. They still don't even they will never give you like a time and stick by it. To me, that's a crazy concept, and to them here, it's a crazy concept that I'm insisting on a time. You tell me. You don't tell me I'm coming this afternoon. You tell me what time you're coming.
Yeah, I'm the same. You tell me, yes, tell me what time, and please stick to it.
Yeah, and they don't get it.
I still give some tolerance minus 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay, for close friends, but not more than that.
No, they don't get it. I swear. They say to me, Ma, I cannot give you an exact time. I said, then I'm sorry, then I cannot give you the job. It's that simple.
Yes.
Yeah, give me a time and stick by it. Or give me, also, it's the same thing, give me a price. That's another one.
Yes,
No, but
true.
it's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure it out after. No, I want to know now. What do you mean? No.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But look, in our
I always
honesty,
have to
like,
give them.
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, sorry.
No, continue.
No, I just brought back some funny things to me, and I don't know if they are relevant even or not. But I don't know if it's the same in Morocco. I'm sure it's the same. Like because you mentioned the price, right? When you mentioned the price thing.
Yeah.
If you go to a shop and the shop owner or the person who's selling you anything, they would be like, if you ask them how much is that, or how much do I owe you, like how much I need to pay, and like in Syria they would say, oh no, it's nothing, leave it on me this time. It's my shout or something, right? So it's just a nice way of just being nice to the customers, right? But I'm not sure if this is the same in Morocco, but like I had a friend who actually owns a shop, and he's got visitors. He's got those girls who grew up in France, okay, and they went there. He's got accessories, like some jewelry and stuff, and they picked up so many things, and but they speak Arabic perfectly, right? Because they were talking to him in Arabic, and the guy was like, oh, he's been nice to them, and at the checkout, I asked him how much money, how much do we need to pay you? And he's like, oh, that's nothing, that's on me this time. And they were like, okay, fine, and they walked out. They took the things and walked out.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, I bet he never done that again.
In fact, they came home and they were telling us, oh, that guy is so nice, he's so sweet. Why he's so sweet? Can you tell me exactly why? And it's like, oh, you see all of this stuff that we bought here? It was for free. Like, what do you mean for free? She's like, oh, well, he said, like, it's on me this time. I'm like, and did you believe that? The guy is just trying to be nice. Yeah, but he said it's on me. Why do I have to argue with him? I just walked out. I don't know if you had this situation before. Look, we had to go to the guy and tell him and pay him, basically. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I told him, don't do it again. You have to at least make sure that you are talking to some people who understand this. He tried to be nice, as he kept being nice, and he was like, no, I really mean it. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay.
It was his ego and his pride talking, because like, oh.
Yeah. So,
I had that only once, to be honest, and I had that with the oh my gosh, what do you call the guy that works wood? What do you call him?
Carpenter.
Thank you. Yeah. because he was not telling me a price and I was insisting. And then he said, oh, you know what? It's on me. I said, I don't want nothing on you. Just give me the price. I said that I'm not like, no, you're not gonna like keep me quiet with that. It doesn't work. But I don't know, like, I mean, these girls should have known better anyway. Like,
They were young. They were young, and they didn't
okay.
really they haven't seen this before. But again, this is this is the difference here. You know, they came from France. They were raised in France, and again, they
Yeah.
are not really they're just teenagers, right? And they haven't really been by themselves in a shop
Yeah.
in Syria or something, and they just heard that for the first time. And the guy, you know, didn't really blink at all when he said, like, "Oh, okay, then leave it on me this time." So, well, he looked serious, you know,
But
the body language
it
and
was his
everything.
fault,
And
to be honest.
yes,
It was his
100%.
fault. Definitely. Well, maybe he should have had that lesson. He needed it. So
I'm sure
no,
he did. I'm sure he did. But again,
no,
this
no,
is
no.
again, we're talking about the differences here in society. So,
Exactly.
well, that's what it is, right?
Oh, and another difference that I really hate, and it got me already upset a lot, and I'm really trying not to say anything, and I don't know. You can go somewhere and you're trying to buy something, right? So you're asking your questions. Somebody else comes and goes before you and want to pay for something, or they ask a question, and then the guy who's like owning the shop, he just talks to everybody all at the same time, and you think like, bro, this was my turn. Like,
Yeah, okay.
no.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I didn't really. Well, I don't know. You just brought this to my attention because I never thought about it.
I hate it. And you know, it was 2 years ago, I got really upset in the shop and I put everything down. And then the guy was like, what's wrong? I said, I want nothing from you. You're disrespectful. He goes, no, but this is normal in Morocco. I said, okay, well, I don't care. I don't care. Like, no, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've never thought about that. Maybe because I was actually born in that place and grew up in that
Oh,
environment, maybe. So yeah, I've just seen this. I mean, I've seen this, you know, since the beginning. So I don't think it's an issue for me. No.
oh my God.
Yeah.
To me, it's no, I don't like it. I'm sorry. No, don't do that to me. Seriously, no.
Okay. I'll keep
What?
that in
No,
mind.
this is not normal. Okay, if you ever own a shop and I come to buy something from you, don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do
I'll just keep
it.
that in mind. But
Thank you.
I'll just write it down
Appreciate it. Yeah, they need to learn customer service. Yeah, I'm sorry, but they do. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about Francesca Albanese, you know, the woman from the UN who is very outspoken about what's
Hmm.
going on in Gaza. She is the rapporteur for Palestine in the West Bank, actually, and she is very, very vocal about it. She was sanctioned by the US. Her reaction was epic. She said her phone was blowing up, everybody was calling her, and she was like, I thought something serious happened in Gaza. You're just telling me the US sanctioned me, like, okay, you know?
The US have never sanctioned a UN official in the entire history. Not other countries. This is the first. I'm the first UN official, albeit in an independent capacity, to be sanctioned by a member state. So it's been quite significant. I'm still absorbing and making sense of it. Of course, it's a disgrace.
I have a very hard time trusting anyone, so I really want to like her, but I don't know.
Yeah. I look. I know where you're coming from. You've got only one person that you still trust so far, and let's stay in that on the level of politics and leadership. That is Ibrahim Tawari, right?
So far.
So far, yeah, exactly. So I understand where you're coming from. Okay, but you know, to me, it is something that I keep struggling to understand, right? Which is, you know, when we talk about the US and the UN and the ICC and ICJ and all of this stuff, right? It's just to me, these things or these departments or organizations, they are still managed by the same management that is actually doing all the illegal, let's call it illegal, or doing all these actions that are against the law. Okay, so how are they supposed to be? How are they supposed to discipline or sanction, right, those countries and those governments if they actually are, if those countries are the ones who created them? Okay, so it is just like, look, today I think I've got so many stories. Okay. And that's a very good example, all right? But it's honestly, it's a story with a moral at the end of it. Yeah, right. So here's the thing. So basically, in I think in some countries and in the United Arab Emirates or Dubai, there's a regulation. When you have like a car, which is a pickup car or a truck, okay, that truck is registered under some transportation or logistics company or a freight company, even though it is managed by the person who's actually driving it, but it has to be registered under some logistics company, right? And there's a sticker at the back of the truck. It says, am I driving safely? If not, please contact this number, which is something you would expect that, you would call the company, the logistics company or the freight company that owns that truck or manage it, okay? And you can complain about that driver, all right? So, but it's a funny thing that on the radio show where people would call and, complain about something that is, whatever it is, they would complain about something that happened, okay? So someone called and told the guy who runs the show, he told him, I need to understand how does it really work with this sticker at the back of the truck, because I had a driver in front of me driving this truck, and I have this guy, and honestly, he's horrible in his driving. So I called the number that is on his truck, and all of a sudden there's a Pakistani guy answering the number, answering the call. And I told him, look, I need to complain about this and this and this, your driver, because he's causing trouble and he's driving dangerously. So then all of a sudden the guy who picked up the call, he told him, what do you mean? I drive perfectly. What are you talking about? So apparently that guy put his own phone number, that same driver, he's put his number, so you can call and complain about him to him. So you know what I mean? So it's the same. To be honest with you, this is exactly the same for me when I look at the US and the UN, right? So I would go and complain about US practices, right, to the UN or to the Security Council or to the ICC or ICJ, whatever you want to call it, right? But who's running this? I feel like I'm just complaining to the same guy about himself, or about the same entity, about that entity itself, right? So again, sorry, it was a long story, but I would confirm what you're saying, that I wouldn't really believe in those places, if we can call it this way.
I mean, I don't trust the UN because as everything you had, I just co-sign. And especially knowing like the person that has the front seat is the wife of the guy who owns Blackstone, one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful company that really runs everything in this world. Yes. And do they need people like Francesca Albanese in the UN to hold that stance 100%? Because even in years to come, they still need to keep their credibility at least a little bit, because at some point people will look back and realize, or admit, not even realize, I think everybody's realizing, but admit to what's going on now. And
Hmm.
that's why I believe this is all a game. And that's why I believe that people are strategically placed there or happen to be there and they are being accepted. Because how is it that people are talking about this and they're literally losing their whole life? They're losing their jobs, they're getting in trouble, but then other people can do it freely and nothing happens to them. So that's why I don't believe, and it's a nice decoration. It's nice, all these flotillas and all of these people and whatnot. I'm sorry to say that, or maybe I shouldn't say that, but I even saw like somebody that we know, Jacob Berger, on Piers Morgan. I think it was atrocious. I'm sorry, it was not good. I think that people need to be better prepared, hold themselves better, but it's not about like judging people, but I just feel like this, and this is why I say this, because it really hurts me. It became a trend. People made this whole movement a trend, and I don't subscribe to this.
I agree. That's why sometimes when I think about it is like our activities on social media and stuff. Sometimes like lately I am not as active on social media as I used to be.
Same.
It's because yes, people are confusing it and moving and turning it into a trend. And I'm not really saying that everyone, I'm not really undermining any effort that's been done. But like, we've seen some situations, some cases that confirms that yes, somehow it is a trend. Somehow it is like, yeah, okay, I've got myself some audience here. All right, let me just make use of it.
You know why I started to undermine people's efforts? Because if you feel, because I tell you something, right? There is so much more effort that is made behind the scenes than on social media. And there are amazing, beautiful people who are really, really doing the most, the utmost. And what people forget, there is the most of people in Gaza, they don't even have access to an eSIM, internet, or anything because they, A, are not in a good condition, B, they might not have a phone. So there is always those that can have access to the internet and speak and, collect money. And that is beautiful. And it's beautiful that people are helping them via social media. But what it become is that allyship is not anymore allyship. It's a lot of these people, they feel like because they've been there after October 7, they are now allowed to have opinions. They are now allowed to make decisions on behalf of this whole movement. And this is why I distance myself from this completely.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, which is sad, by the way, at the end of the day, there's the Palestinians who are in Palestine or in Gaza, and they are resisting and they are surviving and they are still there, right? And just like it's mentioned in the Quran when Allah Azza wa Jal said, لا يضرهم من خذلهم, which means they are not affected by whoever let them down, right? They are fighting their fight, okay? And honestly, I envy them because they are the free people, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say here is, yeah, there are people on social media, people on the media itself, on newspapers, whatever it is. People are giving opinions and people are trying to maybe tell the Palestinians what to do and how to do it. Just like when we are watching a soccer game on the TV, and I start saying that, oh, okay, he missed that opportunity because he should have done this and this. Like I'm on the TV and he doesn't even know that I exist. That player, right?
Yeah. Totally.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yes, okay, people have given themselves some platform, and that platform, of course, as like you said, like it can provide some help, some assistance for if whenever it is possible, okay. But I agree with you. There's so many people who just decided that they can speak on behalf of the Palestinians and to tell them how to do it and what to do. right? Which is, yeah, that's again, like totally agree with you. Like you said, like that's why I distanced myself a bit from that activity, and only there to just support. Because when you mentioned also the Palestinians, sorry, the people in Gaza who have connection and who have access to social media, there's so many of them who would come there and they would just say that we just want to spend time and get out of the surrounding.
Yeah.
We want to spend time. We want to just talk to you guys. They can give you some kind of a news update, but it's not their intention to give the news update. By the way, most of them they just want to unwind. They would just want to exit at least not physically, but they want to exit that area and they want to talk to people outside the war and outside the genocide that is happening. So that's one of the reasons why I would be there, because I made some, that I made some friendships there with people, either journalists or just people in the town, right? So all I care about is just to catch up with them and talk to them. And I know that it's difficult and it's not really helping much, but when I check on them, but that's all I could do, at least from where I am now.
I think to let people know that you care in a hard time means more than you think. Trust me, it does really mean a lot. And and again, like, there's so many people who are doing stuff without having to center themselves. There are so many people, and I don't discredit the people. I'm not Kanye. I don't discredit the people who found out after October 7th. It was not in everybody's numbers, I guess, to know about Palestine since forever, and that's perfectly fine. But please sit down, know your place, and stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You don't need to educate, especially Middle Eastern people or Arab people. You don't need to educate Muslim people. Most of us already know. If we don't know, okay, then maybe we need to know, because it is indirectly our fight as well. But stop this whole madness of taking yourself too serious. You're just an ally. The end.
Yeah. Again, every effort is appreciated. Okay. Because you mentioned, for example, the flotilla, right? And there's the third one now. And like we spoke about it before in a previous episode about the flotilla with Greta, right? To me, it's, yes, okay, we brought the attention of the world, the first flotilla. The second flotilla, we brought it the attention of the world, and we sent messages and emails to whoever can, at least, or we think that could do something, right? But still, it didn't really change much. And now it's the third one. My comment about it is that, one flotilla is not enough. Okay, we need hundreds of flotillas taking off and sailing at the same time, and just all of them going to the same destination. We need to flood the sea with flotillas. This is how it works. Okay, but just every time we just one flotilla. Was it Indonesia or Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Yeah,
Malaysia.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where the impact is. Okay, it is not that, again, appreciate every effort that has been done. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but it is still something like a flotilla with someone who has, who's got some reputation on it. Okay. Yeah. And they are trying to make it there. I'm sorry to say that, but it's becoming pretty much a trend. I'm sorry.
It is.
That's how I feel.
Exactly. It's part of the trend. And if you're a real ally, you're gonna listen and you're gonna understand what we're saying, and you would never participate in something like that. Like I don't know.
Look, I cannot stop people. I cannot stop people from participating. Like whatever the intentions are, right? Again, not saying that no good intentions, but whatever the intentions are, I cannot stop anyone from participating. But I can still see, I can still see where is that going. which is pretty much no.
People just want to do
Okay.
something for themselves to feel important. I'm sorry, I'm not backing down from this. It is what it is. It's just my humble opinion, and people can of course do whatever they want. It's the same thing. Like our next topic, Trump is doing whatever he wants. There is a petition out, and there's thousands and thousands of people, and the petition still going, I think, where people kind of like demanding that he deports his wife Melania and her family members. She came in the 90s to the US. She became a citizen in 2006, and via the chain family process, she brought her parents, her family members over. And he said he's not deporting her because she is his family.
I will not deport my wife. She is my family.
Trump is now being asked to deport his own wife. A viral petition with thousands of signatures is demanding that Trump apply his immigration policies to his own family, starting with Melania, who came from Slovenia in the 1990s, became a U.S. citizen in 2006, and later brought her parents under the chain migration process Trump claims to oppose. And what about Barron, their son? People are now calling him an anchor baby, the same term Trump used against immigrant families for years. The message is clear. If these rules apply to everyone else, they should apply to you too.
But other people's families are okay.
Of course. Of course.
Well,
it's funny. It is hilarious, actually.
it is, but I think, which is a surprise to me, to be honest. I think that he said it because he was trying not to say the real, to give the real reason behind it. Well, look, what skin color his wife is and her parents?
I mean, the European white.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that would be the response. Like, come on, she's white enough. Why do I have to deport her?
Exactly. I mean, his dad was an immigrant himself, like, so it's I think it's just hilarious because it just shows the hypocrisy of it all. And as you said, like, apparently they need more white people than anything else. And that was, when you talked earlier about Mehdi Hassan, about this debate that he had with these 20 lame people, this debate was completely, like, he destroyed them. And he was not even at 10% of his capacity of debating, because that was not a debate. They brought people that he can literally, destroy in his sleep. And all of these people, there was one guy who was extremely racist. I don't know if you saw him. He was so enraged. He even told him, "You need to go. You shouldn't even be here." And then when he left, before he left, he said, "You're gonna go, bro." Oh my gosh, that cracked me up. It was really funny.
Yes.
Because I was trying to tell them that immigrants bring more money, are better for the economy, which leads us to our next one. So there's this Palestinian guy in Australia, right? Who made an app.
Yes, Isam Hijazi. Yeah. So yeah, Isam Hijazi, he's one of the look, I haven't met him. Just because I'm in Australia means that I have met him, and just because we're both Palestinians means that we met somehow.
Why did anyone say that to you? That you met
Well,
him?
in fact, the funny thing that I got was the messages. I got messages, right, from people that I met on social media, right, on TikTok, and a Palestinian engineer in Australia made the app. Is that you, right?
Oh my gosh, you should have said yes. You should have said yes.
Well, my response was like, you all know that, there are other Palestinian engineers who live in Australia other than me.
He's probably not even from your city, is he?
I honestly, I don't really know, because the guy he went to university in Jordan. I think he was born in Jordan or something. I think so. Because if you look at his, I had a look at his education background, and he went to the University of Jordan. He went to the I think American school or something during his high school. So I think he was he started from Jordan, right? And then basically, he moved on. And this is pretty much, when you see I'm not talking about, the generation of my father. I would talk about our generation. When you see the standard, the transformation, how it works, So someone would be born in Jordan or in Syria or Lebanon, and we would study there, we'd go to college, and then the next stop for us would be going to maybe a Gulf country. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'd work there and we would gain some more experience, because honestly speaking, all the experience you can get is from there, right? Credit should be given where credit is due, all right?
Absolutely.
And then because of we think about the ability to travel and the ability of being more how to call it, to do more, to achieve more, then we think about migrating. And that's exactly migrating to, of course, the Western country. And that's exactly what Islam's story, right? So again, he's like, he finished college in Jordan. He went to Dubai. He worked for, high-tech companies. And basically, at some point, he decided to move to Australia. So it's just the typical transformation for us. And he's in Australia. He's done some good. Let's say he worked for so many. Let's say in so many good positions, and that which means that to me he is on the smarter side, which means I wouldn't really be surprised that he would be just doing this Upscrolled app. So the app is called Upscrolled, right? And absolutely, we can imagine why this app was created.
Yes.
Because all the limitations and all the blockade and all of the censorship that was happening around all the Meta or the TikTok or other apps. Okay, so he decided to go with. I am gonna support him, of course. Yeah, I haven't honestly. I haven't created. I downloaded, but I haven't created my account yet. Okay, but yes, I'm going to do that. But I still have this concern, not concern, basically. It's just, like I can see that something is going to happen, which is like, it's going to be unavailable at some country, censored. You need a VPN or something. You can tell already, because it says, Upscrolled simply social without limits. So, and that's not really something that's not really gonna make so many people happy.
So I don't know much about the laws, the ins and outs of the laws of the countries, but I do know you can create 10 million social media platforms. If they want to shut it down due to country restrictions or whatever, they can, because they did that with X, a big platform like X that belongs to this idiot Elon, was kind of like shut down in Brazil. There's even certain, I think TikTok is not available. Is it in Jordan? Which country is TikTok not available? Some Middle Eastern country.
I heard that in Jordan is not available. That's why they go through VPN.
Exactly.
Yeah. I heard it. I'm not sure, but I heard that it's like that.
Yeah, me too. But I think there are some countries that are limited. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, for example, in most Middle Eastern countries, you cannot even use WhatsApp. Like, you can have you can use WhatsApp, but you cannot have a WhatsApp call. You can have it will drop after a while, so you can talk like for a limited time, and that's it. So there are limitations, and I really hope. I mean, I wish him nothing but the best. A second concern is if all the oversaturation of all this movement, people are coming there. If it means making money for him, by all means. But if it's going to be like the same drama and stuff like on TikTok, it's just pointless.
Yeah, well, look, and I will add to that. If that app was really, let's say, when it becomes successful, and it would attract so many people around the world, and we're talking about big numbers. What's next going to happen? Is it going to be bought later on by some
Yes.
Meta or whoever? And then again, we'll get back to the restrictions. So what I'm trying to do here is like there are so many scenarios as to the future of this app, where it's going. So you brought up a couple of scenarios about the people, the quality and the type of the people who are going to join there and what they are going to bring with them. And also now, this is the other thing, which is like either having the app restricted or blocked or limited, having limitations, or it's going to be bought up with some big amount that it's big enough that no one can say no to, right? And then we'll be back to that the same position where we are now.
Same thing again, exactly, with all the shadow banning, all the stuff. So yeah, it's literally pointless. But I still want him to succeed. I still want it to be a good app. I want it to be much cleaner. I want it to work, because I will, if it's something that someone is contributing to, either to better themselves or to make this social media culture better, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. It's not. We always, of course, we want to see this happening. We want to see it better. We want to see a different. We want to see something different. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. And our last topic, like of late, we are highlighting some good people. So this is a woman. Her name is Ikes. I don't even know how you say her name. Shah. She's of Pakistani descent. She's from the UK, and she created Salam Cola, which is supposed to be a replacement for Coca-Cola, since we're all boycotting since October 2023 for Coca-Cola's complicity in financing the atrocities in the Middle East, specifically in Palestine.
This 27-year-old Muslim mum of three just took on Coca-Cola from her kitchen, and in just 18 months she sold nearly 2 billion cans, made over £5 million, all while donating 10% of profits to conflict zones. Meet Ikes Shah. In October 2023, armed with nothing but £160, a kitchen table and a bold idea, she launched Salam Cola, a halal, ethical alternative to the world's biggest soda. With a background in drinks recipe development, she created her own unique formula, then teamed up with a Turkish manufacturer to scale. Her price, just £1 a can.
Yeah. So big shout out to our sister, okay, because this is the drink that I would order when I go to a restaurant and I fancy, or let's say I crave some beverage, then I would order that one, right? And one of the things that I loved about it, it's funny, but again, it's just I'm not making fun of it, but like the can itself is the same red and white, and it has this even a green ribbon, a small green ribbon on top, which would of course it would give the hint that it's a Palestinian flag color, and also it's still how to say it? It still has the colors of the Coca-Cola, right? That's number one. The funny thing is, there's the zero sugar one, or the version of it that has no sugar in it. Okay. There's if you see the Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever, the Pepsi Max or Coca-Cola Zero, and then it became like Coca-Cola no sugar, right? That one it says seriously no sugar. I love that one, because we all know that these no sugar ones are actually, they do have sugar in them, accept it or not. But that one that says seriously no sugar. Okay, I don't know what they mean about it, but that was a very good marketing thing as well. In addition to the fact that it is the perfect substitute for the complicit products. Let's call it this way. Yes,
100%. And she's only 27, and she only started this with £160. It's equivalent to like $160 US dollars. And from her kitchen, she has a background in drinks recipes or making drinks, however. So she started this and she sold 2 billion cans so far in the past almost 2 years. She made 5 million, I think, and she donates 10% of the proceeds to displaced Palestinians. And so she teamed up with a Turkish company, and the production cost, so you can buy it for £1, which is, as I said, one equivalent to $1. And the production is 66 pence / cent. So you can only imagine how much is left. And then after taxes, after you paid all the stuff, there is not even much left for her. Like, you know, and I think it's absolutely amazing.
That's true. That's true. It is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, look, the good thing about this product is that, look, there have been some products, right? I remember in another country that I used to live at, and you know, whoever still lives there, they would know what I'm talking about, right? We had some boycott campaigns since forever.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And there are some. All of a sudden, there had been some substitutes to Coca-Cola, something like, you know, Zamzam Cola, Mecca Cola, and you know, like some fancy names. Exactly.
No.
And like, why does it have to sound like this in order to give you the? It's like, hey, excuse me, I am so halal for you. So that I'm giving it the name of, like, you know, the I don't know, like I was expecting something else would be like Haji Cola or something. Like, why does it have to be like this?
I'm dead, Haji Cola. But it actually wait, it has a ring to it, I swear. No, Haji Cola is cool. I actually like it.
Well, it's still like, you know,
Haji
Zamzam
Cola is
and Mecca.
cool.
Like
That's
when you
too
hear
much.
well, that's the product, and it's still there. As far as I know, it is still there in those countries in markets, right? And the thing that when you look at it, it will be like, I don't know, is that Coca-Cola themselves who created this, so that they would get the people to buy them under some different name? Seriously. You know, you would start questioning it as soon as you see how.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. You know what? We are 2000% halal. Check the name. Like, what? Did you use Zamzam water to create that beverage, or what is it?
Oh, please don't.
Why does it go? Because it's called Zamzam Cola, right? When you hear something like this, what does that suggest when you hear it? Okay.
Of course.
Like, for example,
I
this one
immediately.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm making fun of it, but it's like, what is your the person whoever the company who created this, where did you want to reach, right? For example, this one is called Salam, okay? Peace.
Exactly.
Nothing. It doesn't suggest anything, all right?
Well,
it could be
it goes
tap water, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
but it goes at least with the theme of what she wants to do, you know, like really help, you know, troubled people due to
100%.
conflicts, you know. Yeah.
100%. But again, Salam means peace. Salam is actually a female and a male name. You know, people call it, like, it can mean anything. But when you do something called Mecca or Zamzam, like, what are you suggesting? Like, you are really giving me, like, instead of one halal stamp, it's like 200 halal stamps on it. Like, I'm so halal, guys. How does it really work? You know what I mean? So for me, exactly. I would go for this one. I would go for Salam. At least, you know, Salam could be anything, rather than just use some fancy names.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I mean, she's selling it in 14 or 16 countries. I'm not really quite sure, over 4 continents. I would probably, if I like it, I like it. That's perfectly great then, even better. But if I don't like it, then honestly, I don't need a replacement for Coke. Like,
yeah, well, absolutely. But there are people who would like to drink that beverage, basically, right? So
well, I mean, I don't know. Does it taste like Coke? Like, you know?
Yeah, it tastes good.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I would support it because so that they can have the money, but I don't know. If I like it, that would be good. But if I don't, then I'm not gonna force myself. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, again, whoever tasted it, and I'm one of them, I can say that yeah, it tastes good. It serves the purpose. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
well,
like it. Hmm. So
so I don't know what happened. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all we have for this week, right?
yeah. Well, I can keep talking. I've got so many stories, as you could tell.
Oh my gosh. Well, so for those people who asked in the what do you call it in streaming, and there was one person who asked in the prior episode's comment, we are back and we took a break because my voice, as you guys can hear, was not here, and Maria was not feeling good last week, and Ray was busy during
Yeah,
vacation, as you've explained in the beginning, but we should be back now.
yes,
Back to our
inshallah.
usual stuff,
That's
inshallah.
it. Mhm.
So thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we will be back next week.
See you, everyone, next week, inshallah. We'll catch you.
All right. Peace.